becoming your authentic self. Living life to its fullest every moment. That's what a meditative life is. This is a brief introduction to leading a meditative life on this planet today. My name, labels don't matter, but it's called Dr. Andrew Ferber. He's 88 years old in this body. He's been a shrink for 62 years. He's worked with tens of thousands of patients in over 40 countries. He's practiced medicine and taught meditation on 5 continents. He's been a meditator for over 50 years. He's one of the deepest dudes you're ever going to come across. And if you want to get the most out of this video, look into my eyes and be aware of your breath all the time. Because that's how to stay in meditation every waking moment. Be aware of your breath going down into the root chakra at the bottom of the pelvis all the time. Now, there are big changes going on in this planet. We're not going to talk about explanations because most explanations are stories that people make up because the reality is inexplicable. Things happen, and then you make up stories afterwards as though your story caused it to happen. But in fact, it's all happening simultaneously, mysteriously, and basically unknowably. What we know about it are some maps of some conceptual ways of looking at a little bit of it. But we don't really know how it all fits together, and we can't. So, mankind is going through the greatest change since he came out of the jungles maybe 50,000 years ago. We're going from an expanding to a steady state species. There's as many of us on the planet as the planet wants or can handle. And in spite of the propaganda from all the traditional religions and stuff, mankind has dropped its reproductive rate below the replacement rate in every continent except Africa at this moment. The planet, in some mysterious way, knows that we have to go from an expanding to a steady state species. With this movement, we're becoming the new man instead of the old man. The old man, for the past 25,000 years, obeyed orders. He lived first in families, then tribes, then bigger tribes, then nations, then religions, but they all have the same format. There's some old guy in charge who pretends that he's got the power and everybody agrees, and he makes the rules. And then after 20,000 years ago, they said, well, actually, we're not making up the rules. We're imagining a big guy in the sky who's making up the rules. We're just follow him. He's telling us. So you have to listen to us because there's no arguing. That's the old man. Whether it's Hindu or Muslim or Christian. The Jews started it in the West, but the Hindus and the Chinese started in the East a long time before. But it's the same game. The old guys are in charge, the women should stay in their place. And our tribe is better than your tribe. So we can take your stuff, rape your women, and enslave you. And that's been the game for the last 25,000 years of an expanding species. We now have occupied the whole planet. And that expanding old man with his predominantly male energy will destroy itself and the planet if it continues. So the planet knows this. And it says it's time for the female energy to predominate. Because what we need now is cooperation and not competition. And we need to allow the love between ourselves. That's the only authentic cooperation. See, love is the healing force. It's what we all want, need. And the old man was nature's way of blocking the natural flow of love that is there in every animal and was there in the primitive man in his pre-agricultural tribes. They blocked the flow of love in order to make an angry, dominating man. That game is over. So if you want to be the new man, you have to stop trying to be the boss of everybody, including yourself. That's the greatest pathology of the old man, is we were born in original sin, and we had to work very hard our whole life to break even and not go to hell. So that made for a continually angry man who was angry at the rules, but then angry at himself for not obeying the rules and not being good enough. You gotta let all that stuff go. That's the old man. You're not it anymore. The new man understands himself and others. And the more he understands himself, the more he understands others. And that's what meditation is about, is allowing the mystery of understanding. Understanding is not logical. Your mind is not doing it. It's a happening. Existence understands through you. And the more you relax and let it happen, get out of the way of your mind, which is the biggest obstacle between you and understanding, the transformation happens. All the effort of meditation is to let go of how you're in your own way, blocking the flow of love, the flow of awareness, the beauty in yourself that you're denying, blocking, and hating. That's what meditation is about, is being present and loving yourself, which is not an activity. It's allowing the natural flow of love that's always here, and you're blocking it. Depression is an extreme blocking of your flow of love. All trauma, all continuous fear-based things is a blocking of your flow of love. The profound healing is to let go of your blocks and allow the natural flow of love so you become authentic. That's what the meditation practices are. There was a great enlightened master named George Gurdjieff in the last century. And he said, for any important, and especially any authentic spiritual teaching, you should read it or listen to it at least 3 times. The first time, you'll get a superficial read of the information, like you get the newspapers every night or Fox News or whatever. The second time through, you'll begin to see how your mind is running a continuous commentary and that you barely understand what's actually coming in. And the third time, you may begin to really hear what any enlightened teacher is saying or any enlightened person has written. So do yourself a favor. If something really turns you on, let yourself be exposed to it 3 times at least. So this then gets to the next big point. The new man understands that he's in charge of his own and her own life. The old man is following the rules and suppressing his authentic nature, and all the conflicts are mostly between what you've been taught you ought to be and ought to do or shouldn't do, and what the combination of your biology says. I'm really hungry, I need food, man. And I'm really sexy, I need somebody to make love to, man. And I'm really lonely, I need somebody to hold, man. And your higher nature, which says, I'm one with God. It's within me and without me. I'm not here to make money and play hockey and catch fish. Do these stupid things that people consider fun or important. But each one of us is on a unique path. We're a unique mixture. And I won't go into how much of it is because of your upbringing, how much is because of your past lives, how much is because of your collective group trauma, how much might be the future acting through you. I'm not here to analyze it today. I'm here to tell you how to get in touch with what's authentic for you. Trust it. Meditation is being increasingly aware of that continuous process called me. All the practices are to help you be aware of what's authentic for me this moment. The words that most people use make it more complicated and esoteric and outside. It's not. Now, the kids these days are more naturally meditative than any previous generation. Existence has contrived to invent the internet, where you have more time in virtual than real relationships. When I was a kid, we went out on the street and played stoop ball or ring levio or tag. The kids these days that I see in my practice, if you let them do what they want, they're on their phones or their tablets, they want to play video games or talk with their friends or whatever. They're learning without knowing that they're learning it, that everything that the mind makes is virtual, that you're the one that's aware what the mind is making, but you're not it. They don't conceive of it that way, but there's so much more complex in their thinking and deep in their understanding than kids of the generation of my own kids who are in their 60s or the middle generation in their 20s or my grandchildren in their 5 to 10. I mean, the jump in the past 20 years is astronomical. And no political sayings that you shouldn't think about this and that's too woke. They're trying to close the barn door after the cow has escaped. I've met young people from every continent, and they're all waking up. They're all the same. So please learn to tune into yourself. Use my 5 stars. If you didn't get the videos from me, it's on YouTube. 5 stars for being here now is how to answer the question, what's right for me now? There's no big list of things that you should do. It's a moment-to-moment happening. What's right for me now? That's the only question. Is how to allow what's right for you now to happen. If you can remember these 8 words, it'll do it. Love is the healing force. Let go is the way. All the right choices allow a greater flow of love, which you experience as relaxation, as joy, eventually as bliss, as happiness. And the way to have this love, let go is the way. You just have to let go of your own blocks because it's already there. It's just waiting for you to open the door. I love each one of you. Thank you for putting up with me. That's all.